Hey y'all, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Courtney.
And welcome to Bodice Tipplers, our podcast about the kind of books you used to steal off your grandma's nightstand. Today, we're going to talk about a spooky Halloween book.
Ghost fucking happy Halloween to you. Also, we drink about these books.
Yes, also we drink about these books. So this book is called The Ivory Key, which is a ridiculous object, by the way. What would a key be? Anyway, we'll get to it.
Take it down. The Ivory Key is the original supernatural paranormal romance. So that's why we picked it. And
this is by Rita Estrada, and it was a Harlequin.
Mm-hmm.
And we read a weird Kindle version that may have been somewhat updated, but in a really weird, haphazard way. So just keep that in mind that we may not be dealing with the original text.
And it's amazing.
And it's amazing.
But before we do, we have to talk about because again, we do drink while we read these and talk to you guys about this, because you need to drink a lot when you're reading these books.
Yeah, no kidding. We should probably tell you that we recorded these out of order, and we're just getting off of going on about The Flame of the Flower, which is our next episode, and we're vastly relieved. So we're not actually as drunk as we sound. We're just like decompressing.
Anyway.
Yeah. So I got 6 different pumpkin and Halloween beers from Morganelli's.
Happy Halloween!
Did you hear that they're throwing all the ghosts out of Morganelli's?
I did not hear.
Yeah, because they were stealing all the booze. Yeah, they were getting sheet-faced.
Morganelli's, the unofficial sponsor of Bodice Tipplers, until they tell us to stop.
I haven't gotten a letter yet. So we have 6 different beers, and we're starting off with the Catawba Brewing Company White Zombie White Ale, and that's from North Carolina, so it's next door to us. And so it's an unmalted wheat beer. It's got coriander, orange peel, fruity, and spicy. It's like a light, pleasant.
I taste beer. That's good. I also brought from the World Market while I was on a search for chutney. I got Rest in Peace Red Wine Blend, because very appropriate for what we're reading today.
It's got a super cute label. I like it. It's kind of like a Memento Mori kind of thing going on.
And we'll kind of pause throughout this one to tell you about the different pumpkin beers that we have from Morganelli's.
Morganelli's. And I know that a lot of you hate pumpkin beers. I fucking love pumpkin beers. Put some squash in my goddamn beer today.
You know what? You love a thing. Do it.
It just got fall in South Carolina, so we're living it up.
We're very excited.
Yes.
Before we do, thank you to all the people that listen to our podcast. So we thought we were just shouting into the void, and
our original our tagline was going to be "Fuck it, nobody's listening to this shit."
Yeah.
Well, actually, 170 of you to date have listened to this shit. So most of you probably downloaded it, and you found out that it wasn't about Dark Shadows, and you're like, "What is this fucking redneck yelling at me for?" But we appreciate you trying us again. And some of you who aren't all my mom on purpose listen to us.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much. We're really appreciative.
And conversely, if you're Bob Heiberger, turn this off now. You don't listen to this.
I know my mom hasn't listened to it because I haven't shown her how to get a podcast, actually. But yeah, you can follow us on Facebook at Bodice Tipplers. You can also email us at bodicetipplers@gmail.com. But if you don't tell us not to read your email on air, we may. And dog...
Sorry, my dog is now sniffing the microphone.
Yeah, if you heard that was that.
We're doing a highbrow thing here.
But anyway, we're incredibly grateful and really kind of shocked by the good response that we've gotten. I just can't believe it. I really thought that this was going to be like a 10-person downloadable thing. So
just something that we do on a Saturday afternoon.
Well, we're still doing it on a Saturday afternoon, but now we have to worry about the 170 who are going to listen to us. So this book, what happens in this book?
I have the official description right here for the Ivory Key. Their time had come. Hope Langston needed to be alone, so she retreated to Minnesota and her island cottage. But even there, in her private haven, she had no sense of solitude. Something kept beckoning, pulling at her. Someone was watching, waiting. Armand Sanchil had waited his lifetime for her. Lifetime!
The opposite of that, right?
The woman he loved with an ageless and burning passion, and finally he had hope. Nothing would stand in the way of their boundless love, he vowed. Not even destiny. Boom!
I would love to get the job of writing that shit.
Oh my god, this book is amazing!
But it missed like a lot of opportunities for puns, right? Because see what it doesn't say is that Armand is a ghost, and they do it all the time.
They ghost fuck hard.
And you know what? It's all consensual. So if you are concerned about reading books that have iffy consensual situations, do not be afraid. This is completely safe for you. And
if you're triggered by ghost dick, then you turn this off. Otherwise, you're good.
Now, however, there is some trauma in this. It happens before the beginning of the book. Is that this is a woman who has been captured by, I guess, gorillas in, which confused me as a kid entirely.
Not in the mist.
Yes, in Central America. And hilariously, they're not more specific than that, just Central America. Yeah. And you don't know what really happened there. You do know that she was captured along with her father's secretary who died. So horrible things went down, and so she's trying to heal and decompress. She's a journalist, and she owns an island in a lake in Minnesota, right? Is it Minnesota?
Yeah, Minnesota.
Okay. So she gets there. She's taking pictures because she's a photojournalist, and I'll talk later about her darkroom procedures. But so she takes pictures on this island, and she sees in her photographs, but not through her own eyes, this sort of like event with a bunch of fur trappers who seem to like murder this French dude.
She's like, she takes this on the chin. I guess like if you've been held captive for any kind of time in Central America, like you cool with just seeing like random dudes in your pictures.
Like, so she doesn't like call the Pope.
No, she's like, whatever, it's fine. I'm gonna investigate.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, so she runs out there and it's raining, it's raining and she's wearing her 80s sweatsuit. I like to think it's pink because
I saw it as purple, but yes, the same thing.
Yeah, and I hope she didn't just get her perm done because you cannot go out in the rain with that.
Legally Blonde taught me that.
Oh, you didn't know that from having lived through the 80s because
I had like a perm and it was like. Anyway,
I
think I blocked it out.
My mother, I had a very thin, fine hair, and my mother decided that that's how you get body in your hair. So I looked like I had a finger stuck in a light socket for my entire childhood in the 80s. It was it's a bad time, and there's no pictures, not that you will ever see. So yeah, so she runs, and it's a sweatshirt and a sweatsuit, so it's really heavy, so it gets super wet. So of course, like you do, she just takes it off, and so she runs naked in the rain with no shoes on.
I think we need to pause and unpack that. She goes to investigate the paranormal rock where she has photographic evidence of life after death, the supernatural, and as she's going up, gets caught in a rainstorm and gets naked to go investigate the ghosts.
Which I have to appreciate her joie de vivre.
I mean, I guess so. Like, I just like that was her first instinct. Not like, oh shit, I'm gonna come back when it's like not raining. But like, I'll just take this like Garanimal sweatsuit off. Like, this is slowing me down. I got to be naked when I'm fighting ghosts.
Well. So, and then lightning strikes the sacred rock, I guess we don't know anything about this rock ever in the thing.
It's just a rock.
Yeah, but it seems to, house this ghost, from what we can tell. And it makes the lightning strikes it, and it seems to make him corporeal. Because now there's a French dude, in a cute little outfit and all, and he's like, oh, there's a naked bitch.
He thinks, because Naked Hope looks just like his 17th, 18th century girlfriend, Faith. Mm-hmm. I like this.
Yeah.
Hope and Faith.
Virtue.
So he sees her and he's like, "What's up, Faith? You down to bang on this rock?" And of course, mistaken identity quickly taken care of. There's no unwanting,
Yeah, he does not rape her.
No rape. So.
Yes, completely fine. And he gives her jacket. I mean, he's a little confused by the situation, but he rolls with the punches.
Everybody takes everything just super cash in this book.
They're the chillest people in the world.
Minnesota is where it's at for just handling business.
I guess so, because I think of Minnesota. We're coming from the South here. I just assume that you take your clothes off in Minnesota and you immediately freeze into an icicle because you're playing chess with a polar bear, and that's why you left.
Exactly, that's how you do it. That's the way.
But so, and she completely immediately does believe that he is a ghost. A corporeal ghost. So there's no back and forth, no prove your shit. Yeah. I mean, there is a scene where, so she goes back home to bring a picnic because they're very practical people. She's like, I think you're going to get a picnic for us. And so, and once she leaves his boundary, because he's got a boundary, his jacket, his uniform coat, it gets all over.
We need to explain the boundary a little bit better because Armand cannot go within a certain amount, only so many yards from the rock, and then this invisible force field stops him. So he can't go to Hope's house and just hang out.
Yeah.
So he lives on the hill.
But his corporeal, because now that the lightning has struck, he can get cold.
It's important to understand for penises later. Like, this isn't a ghost penis. It's a real
penis. Which, by the way, he goes in raw. Like, aren't you worried about, like, a ghost baby? Or ghost, I guess there's no ghost AIDS, ghost syphilis?
Well, there's a part in the book where she is discussing with herself why she has fallen for him so quickly. And she's like, I guess because he's a ghost, I don't really see there being a chance of being hurt. And
that's wild, girl. You got to unpack that with a therapist.
Have told me, like, no. Like, again, I base all of my ghost romance not from ghosts, but from high spirits. And high spirits has absolutely told me that you can get hurt by Liam Neeson's ghost penis. Beverly Lady Angela was not immune.
So, of course, what she decides to do, like you do if you're a good person and you encounter a ghost, you're going to try and fix him, right? So he's obviously stuck there.
We love to fix a man, dead or alive.
Yes, we do. And, of course, like, Faith never came. He was waiting for her. She never came, and he got murdered by these dudes.
Trifling Faith.
And he buried a little, they say chest, but it sounds more like a casket. And had this ivory key. Why would you make a key out of ivory ever? That's the worst material to make a key out of.
I mean, he's already a fur trader. He's, we got it that he doesn't really have animal regard.
Yeah, but it's going to break.
Well, I get that, but, ivory key, magic.
Yeah,
everything's
ivory
magic.
Key, whatever. And so, like, she decides, well, we just have to find out what happened, and he'll be released. Like, she doesn't want to keep him as a ghost pet, which I guess is nice of her. So... Yeah. She starts doing historical research in this very 80s way. It's very funny for us as librarians to watch her go to these historical societies.
Go into the card catalog.
Yeah, but poorly, because, like, don't tell me that there's no print finding aids. Anyway, we'll get to that.
We're taking a booze break for me to tell you about the Rest in Peace red wine blend that I have. Like this book, it's pleasant but generic.
All right, and hold on, let me shotgun this and...
While she's shotgunning, let's see.
And let's open up the Elysian Night Owl Pumpkin Ale.
It's got an owl on it. It's very Halloween-y. I approve.
Bottle opener. We're super prepared. We decided that now that we have 170 people listening to us, we're going to be super professional.
We're just going to fall apart. Like, this is where it falls apart. Like, I don't want to listen to these bitches open beer bottles.
So, this is from Elysian, where is Elysian at? It's unfiltered. It may contain sediment. It's got pumpkin seeds, and spices. So it's like real pumpkin. It's not like pumpkin spice. And this is from Seattle, Washington.
Halloween, bitches! Ghost penis.
Halloween is all about sediment.
And ghost penis.
That's adult Halloween. That's like grown-up Halloween.
Everybody.
Oh, this is really good. This is really pumpkin-y. Kind of like a PSL, except you don't have to wear a scarf while you're ordering one at Starbucks.
Well, then fuck it. It's wrong. You have to have the scarf. Anyway.
Well, when you finish your wine, try that one, because I think that you may like that, even if you're not a huge beer
person. So, digressing, they've REI shopped. They've dug up the casket / treasure chest.
But it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, she goes to REI. She buys, like, tents and stuff. Because she's super practical. It's great.
She's greatly practical. I kind of love her.
Yeah, she was. I thought she was awesome. But then she realizes, well, we can't just bust open the casket. We've got to get the key.
Yeah.
Because it didn't, what if that doesn't work? Well, then what if you screwed it up and he's stuck here forever and all you have to do is bone him wait a minute.
Yeah.
Just build a cabin up there and just
He starts disappearing at night. When they find the casket, he disappears for a little bit, but then comes back.
I think he's losing his charge a bit from the lightning bolt. So they figure out, she does all this research, and she figures out that this key was stolen by one of those dudes who killed him, and it's in a historical house museum in town, which is very useful because most of the other information is overseas. Right. With the Hudson Bay Company, all their records. So this elaborate caper, which how hard would it really be? You have a master's in public history.
I do.
To steal something from a tiny little historic society.
Let me tell you, it's really hard because nobody is more territorial and authoritarian than a historic house museum docent. I'm not talking about the paid workers, but I'm talking about the lady that puts on the inaccurate dress that is there for it. That is her house. That house is her boyfriend. And she is gonna be watching. So let me tell you, Hope managing to steal that key... with some serious capering.
But there's like 8,000 people who work at this place. This is now it's kind of a resort town because like they have, so
She's got an island. There's other islands, they've got all those lakes.
Yeah, it's a resort town, but it's still this is not in like Washington D.C. This is not in San Francisco. This is a small town historic house, and she gets like a new person every time she goes.
Yeah.
So that's why they don't notice that she's like gonna bust out this.
She's creeping in,
and she's so bad at it, which I appreciate that she didn't all of a sudden get good at it. Because why would she be? But she finally steals the fucking key. Like this whole caper thing has getting a little tense. It was there was drama. There was intrigue, and I gotta appreciate like she goes. There's the key is in a shadow box, and Hope, being our kind of like most on the ball heroine to date, is like, well, shit. What I'm gonna do is make an exact copy of this key and the shadow box. But the thing is that it's in town. She's taking measurements. It's in town. So don't you think that, like, the 3 businesses in town, there's a jeweler in town, you don't think they all drink together? I think they all, like, have some kind of, they all knew what was going on. They're like, well, she was in Central America. I think she was in Central America. I think we should humor her a little bit. Okay, let's just kind of keep an eye on her. I'm a little worried about her. They're nice people. It's Minnesota. So, they find the Ivory Key. Meanwhile, her father comes, her estranged father, because she's got to go testify to Congress about Central America, and he just like throws a little bit of a wrench, but not too big a wrench. This is all very vague. Yeah, it's just all very frustrating because she's trying to like take advantage of her last time with Armand, and her dad's around. We've also like again because we're off the high of the other book, we're fluffing over some things, but the fucking happens in this book super quick. Yeah, and it's super consensual. Yeah. And they just have a really good time having sex. Oh, they have so much sex. Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's non-descriptive, like, just, it's a little... Armand's intensity, and, So it's a little descriptive. Yeah, they got a tent. Yeah. She introduces him to, like, nylon and a sleeping bag. Yeah, and he's really excited about that. He is in for it. Like, he is turned on by the sleeping bag. Like, that does it for Armand. And I get it. You're having to deal with, like, shitty fur and, like, pelt. And, like, there's no wet fleas fur in it. On it. Yeah, I guess there's no ghost fleas. That's how you do it with a historical dude. Because there's no ghost fleas. You don't need a condom? Do you need a condom? I think you should probably not raw dog it with that dude. Yes. I mean, it does beg the question. Like, was she like, oh... He does not have HIV. Yeah, but he's got, like, some kind of, like... He's got the French disease. Yeah, all the French diseases. Yeah, because the main character, the main romance in this is La France. They do love France. Yes, a lot. He absolutely loves France. But anyway, so, like, she gets the key, and he, I guess it heads into heaven or whatever. He disappears. But she's very sad. I would be, too. You lost your ghost dick. Again, Liam Neeson, Beverly D'Angelo. But then it turns out who you're going to call is your local realtor. She's going to sell the island because she's so sad. Which is crazy. I mean, it's a beautiful island. She's been dicking on it, like. Well, like everywhere she goes, she just got to see we were dicking there and we were dicking there. Ghost penis here. Everywhere I turn. So she calls the main realtor from the island. Of course, all these people are related because it gives that right about a small town. Yeah, they do. Well, and it turns out it's unclear. He looks a lot like Armand. He may be Armand reincarnated. He may be, this guy may have been, like, puppet mastered by Armand's, I don't know. It's got too many theological implications. We got a lot to unpack later. But essentially, this realtor shows up to sell the island and is struck by lightning. And then the assumption is that he becomes Armand. And the same way that she looks like Faith, he looks like Armand. We're going to unpack that in a moment. Yes. But yeah, it's essentially this book was like a breath of fresh air after The Flame of the Flower. I mean, like, seriously, it was just so stupid. They were like smart people in an incredibly stupid situation. They were just like handling their business. Yeah. Like, okay, so a ghost shows up and you were naked, and then like it's kind of embarrassing. Well, let me go make a picnic. Okay, I'm gonna bring a blanket and I'm gonna bring some like shitty California wine. You're making a face about that. I just tried the pumpkin spice beer. You're not a fan? I am not a fan. Really? I thought you liked that one. Take a listen to us all sipping. But no, I'm not the biggest pumpkin spice beer person. So I'm going to go back to this, like, bland wine. That's okay. But that's fine. You can do that. But I do like it. The Elysian Night Out. By the way... if you like beer, I can see it being a thing. Well, a lot of people don't like pumpkin beer, though. Yeah. Yeah, I'm, like, totally a basic bitch in that regard. Morganelli's... Morganelli's.
Morganelli's.
We'll break any six-pack for you. So you can just like go and buy one of each thing.
Breaking six-packs and breaking heads. Morganelli's.
Breaking hearts, too. Morganelli's. So yeah, like they were super helpful and super friendly, and the dude just like made a six for me of Halloween and Hunkin' beers.
Okay, so the Ivory Key. Again, I love a dumb paranormal romance. Like I said, it all started with high spirits. Liam Neeson, Steve Guttenberg, anything with a goot, I'm there. So this book, fantastic in its nonsense. I like that this girl, Hope, had no qualms whatsoever about just being like, you a ghost, I dig you, let's do this. Boom. Like, she was in for it from moment one.
This is written in like 1987,
yeah,
right? So in other words, they've had like some time to work out this like bullshit consent shit. So this is a grown ass woman, not a teenager. I appreciate that shit.
I do, yes.
And she was just like in control of her own goddamn life. She had her own goddamn island. She had a job, and she saw some ghost dick, and she just had to jump on it.
The other nice thing about this book is this is the first one I've really seen call into question about consent, because talking to Armand, who's 34, goes 34, but 34, she talks to him about his fiance who is 17, and like she gives him the business for being with a teenager. And then when she finds out that he had sex with like a French courtesan when he was 13,
she is super shamey about this. Like
she's shaming about the sex worker, but I think
yeah.
she's also shaming that a 13-year-old boy had sex with a grown woman.
Yeah,
and so that was kind of refreshing to see in these books. Like, oh, we're talking about this. Like, someone's actually having a conversation about
he's super
consent.
mature about it too, because like, okay, he might just be humoring her, because as far as he knows, he hasn't seen anything with this island.
Yeah,
she could be this crazy person. Like, oh, now in the future it's like this. Like, okay,
everybody is super trusting. Like, okay, you're saying this is how it is. That's fine.
and she does have like zippers and stuff. Like she has like a plan.
That was how she proved the future, and I appreciated that as a historian. Like being like, oh, we got zippers. So. Like, ha, ha, ha.
And plus also, like, even at the time, like, we have so many better things at REI now. Oh my god, I'm not safe in REI. But, so at the camping store, she brings all this stuff because now he's cold and shit, and she wants to get it on at any time of day or night, which I don't blame her.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got good French fur trapper penis, and that's the other thing. I appreciate in a land where everybody is English, or a pirate, or a sheik, or a Viking, that we've given it up to the French fur trappers. Because the French Canadian is sexy.
But I'm like, although like, you know, history was my jam. I almost went to graduate school and to get my doctorate in medieval history, but I don't know nothing about Canada and shit. I guess like they got their own history or something.
I mean, I guess so.
You think you learned about it in school in Canada?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know, but so like this fur trapper shit, my brain is like, okay, so you got your like French and Indian War. Next.
And then that's it. No.
Yeah, that's it.
No, I mean, it was pretty, like, she had the history pretty well, like, down.
Well, let's go to that then. Like, what is the CW style authenticity in this?
Well,
she read one book, I think.
I think she read one book. First of all, it's very CW that somebody's just gonna like drop trow and like take everything off on a ghost hunt.
Yeah,
like because when I go on a ghost hunt,
I want to be covered up. I want to be ready.
Like whenever I think there is a mystery to be solved,
shoes, I'm not even
concerned about the shoes so much as pants. Like I need to have pants for like kicking. You know, I don't know what I'm kicking, but
this
also,
is like my bad dreams are like this when I'm going ghost hunting and then I'm naked.
I don't want to be bare ass.
No,
like I never want to be bare ass in a ghost hunting situation. So. I love that she was just like, I'm gonna be naked, ghost hunting, and then she gets up, finds this, you know, dead hottie. She's like, what's up? What's up, boy? Goes to REI and buys some shit for him, bangs it out, has a picnic, where I loved also that he's, like, that we've made the French just the French, in that he was pissed off about the wine.
Because
the wine on the ghost picnic, like...
Yeah, well, she said it was a cheap wine in 1987. So can you imagine what cheap, shitty California wine was like?
It was like
in
the bottom of
the
yeah.
It was like the leaves,
the jug, the Chablis, like yeah.
Oh my god! And then you make a lamp out of it.
Yeah. So It's very CW. Like, I can't believe they
The
haven't
fucking
made...
dark room shit. Oh my god. Now, obviously, this woman had asked somebody what happens in a dark room, but never actually developed pictures. Because what she does, she shoots a roll of film. Okay, like you do. And then she says, oh, fuck it. I'm rich. I'm just gonna print every single one of these. As if printing in a dark room were the same thing as just hitting a button. Like, she doesn't look at them through the enlarger, which you literally have to do. You don't just, like, print each full frame either. You pick what you're going to print, and she doesn't see the ghost shit until after she's got it out of the developer. It's insane. She's obviously never really been in... It doesn't matter how much photo paper you have or how wealthy you are. It does not make sense. Like, she just asked somebody, or she read, like, an article on developing photos, and that's it. I mean, and of course, like, her idea...
I like that this is Sarah's line in the sand, because me, I was like, I don't give a shit about this.
I do give a shit about it.
I was like, where's the ghost fucking?
And then when she goes to do her research, that actually does seem pretty realistic, except for the fact that, yes, most of those records, I'm sure, are either in Canada, I keep almost saying Canada, or in Europe. It's only fun if you're making fun of Canadians. But, like, there's no finding aids. Like, don't tell me that there's not some sort of, at the time, like, a printed bibliography or, like, just like...
Not in Minnesota. No, I don't...
Yeah, they would have something so that she could tell, like, if it existed. Now, obviously, it's never down to the folder level. Well, in USC's Modern Political Collections, it is actually down to the folder level. Right. But that's unusual. Usually it's like, it's down to the box level. But she would have some kind of idea, probably, either by phone calls or by having some sort of, like, book that you had to, like, hunt through to know if that record might exist.
Right.
If it's possible, and who would have it, and what library it would be at, and...
Records are sexy, not as sexy as Halloween, dick. But, no, again, there were aspects of this book I really, really enjoyed. I enjoyed kind of her being modern lady, getting it for herself.
Like it was short.
Oh, it was short.
Because The Flame and the Flower was like 8 times as long as it should have
been. And again, that's a book that's coming up,
yes.
So it's kind of a reminder.
But so don't read that. But this is a Harlequin length book, which means that it will fit in your pocket.
So our next question would be... We're going to go through our questions.
Sorry, I was busy drinking. Bastard to Bay. This guy wasn't a bastard.
Oh, he was such a bae. You know what? Ghost Armand, call me. Like, I'm here for you.
He was a real sweetheart.
We're gonna, like, talk about your breeches, and, like, we're gonna do some fur trapping of our own. Hey-o! Like, I really enjoyed Armand.
Yeah, he was sweet. But, it's funny, we were talking in the future to you about how so many of these books are about taking an animalistic man and making him more human. Yeah. Well, here's a guy who is, like, described as short.
Yeah.
He's described as, like, the opposite of animalistic to start with. I think he's probably kind of furry, but, he's...
I mean, he's a fur trapper, and he's French, and he's, like, from the 18th century. So, those all go into, like... Yeah, he's very realistic and enjoyable. Like, he's a nice dude. I mean, he's a little snotty about wine, but, what you gonna do? And
it was probably terrible wine. And he does not really like her frozen dinners either, which, I mean, I'm with him on that.
He's also dead. So... So...
Yeah, so, but yeah, he's just a good guy. He's just a nice...
Total just bae.
So how rapey is it? Not at all.
Not at all.
Oh, thank God.
Yes, this one was very, like, very enjoyable.
Although I did not really like that. I mean, we don't know that she was raped in Central America, but she has this extremely vague trauma. I meant to talk about this in the CW stuff. Okay, so it just happened in Central America. Where? Central America. What part of Central America? Central America. I had a teacher, a history teacher in middle school, who told us that Central America is a country. Not like a lot of countries, but a country. And when I was like, that's not true, he told me that it was. And then I brought in the encyclopedia, the P volume for Panama, and he said, no, those are states, like, not like nation states. Yeah, and I'm still bitter about that. That was not the first time that I was told something that wasn't true by a male authority figure and to sit down and shut up, but it's one that stands out, okay? So, yeah, such as Central America. Where? Central America. That's kind of crazy. Like, did she not want to pick a country?
I don't think, I mean, again...
But, yeah, so she has this trauma, which may be rapey, may not be rapey, but that's, like it's like a shortcut to her character, which I was not a big fan of.
No.
And the fact is, okay, now the book does not suggest this, but I do think that we need to talk about the fact that it is quite possible that none of this happened.
I think it could be, wait for it, I think it could be a Jacob's Ladder situation. So,
She's traumatized.
she's by herself.
Yes.
No one ever sees Armand.
They can't.
They can't see him. It's just him and her.
These pictures never come up again, by the way.
These pictures never come up. There is no evidence of Armand actually being a person.
There is, well, nobody sees it because she
No.
has that jacket, and her father comes to stay with her.
Yes.
But I thought he was going to see the jacket or not see the jacket, but
Right.
no.
No. So this is something that is entirely probably in her head. And the trauma of whatever happened in Central America could be so great that while on the island, she has a reality snap. And that she creates this ghost boyfriend that's not really a ghost boyfriend at all. And she could also be dead. So it could be a Jacob's Ladder situation. And I hope it is. Like,
Well, you know, okay, so let's say that it is a hallucination or it's a break from reality. It's a pretty healthy one.
I mean, she's just fucking a guy. Like,
Yeah.
go for it. You're having consensual sex. It's amazing. And I wonder, because at the end, the realtor, this poor son of a bitch realtor,
Yeah, let's hope that God is not real.
that he is just having his best life, comes to an island and gets struck by lightning and then gets overtaken by Armand.
We don't know that because they don't make that clear. So I really thought that he was just a descendant this whole time.
But
And
who's
to see what
Armand?
she
Who
is.
did he have a kid with? Nobody.
But his brother did. His brother did, which means that this guy, by the way, is half Native American.
That's
So,
true.
yeah,
Fair
which
enough.
is nice,
Fair
you
enough.
know.
Fair enough.
Consensually half Native American from somebody who his brother was married to.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's not even any like gross like racist rape
Yes,
stuff on the
yeah.
sideline. This is completely rape free. It's great.
Again, it's a Jacob's Ladder situation. It's all made up.
But the book doesn't give you any reason to think that.
Or does it? I think it doesn't.
It does not.
No. She had a snap from reality and just made all this shit up. She did.
It's possible.
I don't know. I kind of love that idea. Like, I'm giving, Ms. Estrada, like, more credit. Like, we're putting things in here. But, yeah. Anyway.
Possible Jacob's Ladder. But I kind of hope that, honestly, because if you think about the implications of what on earth happens at the end of it, it can be like kind of like horrifying if it's not, if any of this was real. If it's not real and it's not like a Ghostbuster situation, then okay, great, fine. Maybe she's on her way into town, saw this dude's face in a realtor sign.
Yeah.
And she forgot that she saw that. And
Yeah.
she sees him and, he looks familiar.
Because, again, otherwise, this other poor man has been sacrificed at the altar of, like, becoming this fur trapper.
He doesn't know how to work a zipper.
Doesn't know how to work a zipper. Like, he's not going to understand real estate law.
No.
Like, it's all going to be terrible. Like, I want to read the after the fact book where she's, like, having to, like, navigate him through, like, modern life. And it's like, why weren't you just a realtor?
But she's rich, so he could be a house husband.
Fair enough.
Maybe they buy the house.
Maybe they did.
The house museum, and then they rent it themselves.
Oh.
They put the key back.
Yes.
The key caper is really funny.
Yeah,
by
the
the
key
way.
caper
It's
is
so
funny.
low key, but yet also so it's really important to her.
Yeah.
But it's and she keeps almost being like caught by these docents.
Yes. Yeah. Like, just do. Docents in, like, the costume, too, which is, like, the least intimidating thing.
It depends. Some of those, yeah, you're right. Some of those are like Mrs. Danvers.
Yeah, like, I've got my high neck dress on. That's not correct. An
Um,
old prom dress.
Beer break. I'm gonna try another one.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I don't know that Courtney's on board for these beer things, but
There
all
you
right,
go.
let's try. This is the pumpkin. So it's not like spelled right. Pumpkin ale from Dogfish Head, which of course is from Delaware, a state that I am told is real. I've never been there. Have you been there?
I've driven through it, yes.
Yeah, you sure?
I am. This one has a hoppier color. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up.
This is less sweet pumpkin-y. This is a little more beery and like less pumpkin. So
You hear
a lot of
these-
people would like it better. I think.
These experts we are. Experts.
Look, I can drink some beer.
Less pumpkin-y.
That's a
more
term.
beery.
That's a term that people say. It's kind of got a little bit of that, like, sometimes when you put, like, some fruit in some beer, it's got, like, that, like, weird
Yeah.
little aftertaste. It's got a little bit of that. I like the Elysian better. Probably because it's not from Delaware. So, our next question. How racist is it? Almost not.
I know. I don't remember any...
I mean, they mentioned the Native Americans in the area, but there's nothing gross about it that I remember. Yeah.
Again, this book was, like, just pleasant.
Yeah.
It was just pleasant.
I mean, except for that weird Central America thing, where they're just, like...
Central America.
It's non-specific, and that does make it a little bit, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, just because, like...
But maybe she was, like, afraid to be, like, to name a country as being terrible.
Well,
like, maybe
and
she was,
hilariously, she does name the country twice in the book, and I wonder if that was added in this, like, weird, sort of, like, half updating thing.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, it's called Sal Jacinto. So, Sal... I'm not an expert, like I said. Medieval Europe is my thing. But as far as I know, anything Spanish-speaking is San. Sal is Portuguese. So is there like a British colony in Central America?
It could be.
Of, like, what?
There is
Brazilian. Brazilian. I meant Brazilian.
I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And, of course, there's these, like, congressional hearings, but there's no need for that. Like, I don't understand why that was in the
I think
book.
it was for her to reunite with her father. They had a rough relationship, and then her and her dad got cool because she was, like, so mellowed out by a ghost penis.
She is kind of, like, fucking a bitch about the fact that, okay, so she and her father's secretary, he's, like, an oil industry guy.
I guess so,
And so, and he has, like, holdings down there. And so she's like, I can't believe he acted like it was, it's, like, almost like he was more upset that his secretary died than me. Like, hey, your secretary died.
That woman died.
Like, you barely know this guy. Like, you're just in and out of his life. This woman... They were probably banging him.
He might be having, like, ghost vagina with her.
That's why he comes to the island?
Yeah.
Like, to give her an outing, maybe?
Ghost vagina!
Like, we're going on the ghost vagina holiday, maybe.
Yeah.
That could be. I don't know. Okay, so... would my 12-year-old self have dog-eared any pages?
So many pages!
Yeah, because it was sexier than the others.
Oh, it was sexier.
Yeah, little...
It's not full raunch. It's like half raunch. But I would have been like, I will save you, ghost boyfriend.
I would have gone and back and reread some stuff in there. It was hotter than anything else we've read before. Like, well, partly because it was not rapey.
He wasn't rapey. I think they like used the word nipples. Like the other ones don't. It's just boobs. But this one or bosoms. Like this one, I think said nips.
Yeah, and it was like they were doing it. It wasn't like a fade to black. Like they were.
Yeah,
they were always up in that tent.
Always in the tank.
Would you mind if the heroine gets slapped? I would fucking cut you.
Yeah.
I loved her.
I loved her. I was Team Hope all the way. And yeah, nobody touches Hope.
Yeah, I mean, this was the first heroine that we've done that I really unreservedly loved.
And she was like the first grown-ass woman. The rest of them have been like 17.
And they're going to be, like, in the historicals, which I get why they do that.
Yeah.
Because unless you're doing an old maid, the women who were in the right age range to be shopping for most of the historicals would have been teenagers. Yeah. But still, you get real tired of reading about teenagers. Because either they're not acting like teenagers, so it's not realistic, or they are acting like teenagers, and you want to murder them.
Exactly.
So like the Sansa Stark problem. Yeah.
I loved Hope. Mm-hmm. And I loved Hope's love of ghost dick.
So how bad are you judging your grandma? Not even a little bit.
No,
this is delightful. I mean, it's not smart. It's not improving your life in any way whatsoever.
I mean, I don't need it to. I just need there to be ghost fucking. Trick or treat, motherfuckers. Trick or treat. So, that's all I need.
So, we didn't actually make it all the way through our beers, but I guess that on our website, which hopefully will be up in the next couple weeks,
we'll rate them.
We will rate them that way. You can see Courtney not drink any of these, except we do have the last one we were going to drink. It's called Ghost Rider. If you know what I mean.
That's Hope. She's the Ghost Rider.
It's got cherries and ghost peppers in it.
Spooky.
Actually, you want to skip to that one? We'll try it right now.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Because
I mean, like we could just like retitle this Ghost Rider and
here.
Let me get two of these glasses.
Starring Nick Cage.
God, please don't. I was giving platelets once, so you're there for 3 hours, and that was what was on the TV that you can't escape. Was Ghost Rider.
Terrible.
Oh my God, it was so bad. I was trying to read War and Peace. So, of course, you can't actually concentrate on War and Peace when Ghost Rider's in the background.
It smells peppery.
It does smell peppery.
All right. Let's do it.
I'll let you go first.
That's not bad. Oh, it's got a little afterkick. There's an afterkick.
I don't taste the cherries.
I'll taste the pepper.
I definitely taste the pepper. This is from Palmetto. Oh, this is a South Carolina brewery.
Yes.
From Charleston. Oh, Charleston.
Ghost Rider from Charleston.
This is pretty good, honestly. Yeah. But yeah, it does have a bit of a, like, the pepper doesn't happen until the end.
Yeah. Well, everybody, happy Halloween, happy hunting, and if you get a chance to, bang a ghost, do it, and then email us.
Who are you gonna call? Bodice Tipplers. That's bodicetipplers@gmail.com, and follow us on Facebook, also at Bodice Tipplers. Next time, and this will probably come out in early November, I'm thinking, it will be The Flame and the Flower. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's a-coming.
And please look at our Facebook, our website, and listen to the beginning of to talk about the trigger warnings with that book.
Yeah, because you don't want to, well, frankly, don't read that fucking book. It is trash. But if you think you might want to read the book, make sure that it is not going to fuck you up, because there are a lot of people in this world who this book would fuck up.
It's very true.
Yeah, it's terrible. So, until next time,
happy Halloween!
Woo!